We're gonna start, so people who are lingering outside, if there's any, could come over now. Let's just wait for Jedi. Okay, we're gonna play a game. In fact, we're gonna play 2 games. Cause it's after lunch, so you just came back. Maybe just get rid of the lunch drowsiness, if any. It's a very simple game. I'm going to demonstrate how this game goes. So the first game, can I get Jedi to come also? Please just stand over here together with Cheryl. So the first game is very simple. It's just a game of saying hello. So you go to the closest person and then you reach out your hand. So I'm going to reach out my hand. And then you shake this person's hand and you say, hello, my name is Ray, you are? Cheryl. Okay, just say hi to one another. And then move on to the next person. However, this hand should always be connected until you find the next person. Okay, so I find the next person, I go, hello, hi, I'm Ray, you are?
Hi, I'm Jedi.
Jedi.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. And once I have 2 persons, I will move on to the next person. Hi, I'm Ray, you are? Cypher. Nice to meet you, Cypher. And then I can move on to the next person, okay? Okay. Now here's the catch. We are all going to do it at the same time. And our aim is 60 seconds, get to know everybody in the room.
Wow.
Okay. Okay, 60 seconds, so everybody stand up now. Come and join us, those people behind. Camera, if you can, come join us as well. Just be in this space. Okay, when you're ready, just start off and say hi to the first person. Go. Hi. Don't let go of your first hand, find a second hand. Once you have your second hand, let go, find a third hand. Try to get to know everyone. 40 seconds left. Travel from one end to another end. 30 seconds. Find the next person. You're supposed to have 2 hands with you at all time, okay? 2 hands. 20 seconds. You done? You got everybody? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Give yourself a round of applause. And you can sit down. Thank you.
Okay, that's why we have name tags.
that's why you have name tags. Who have completed everyone? Yes, 1, 2, 3. Congratulations. Who have 80%? 80 more, mostly 80%. Who have 50%? No, okay. So everybody did quite well. Good job. So hopefully that warms up your body a little bit. We'll play the second game just to warm up your mind a little bit, to wake yourself up. It's a very simple game again. I will say yes. And when I say yes, I want you to reply me. No. Fantastic, good guess. Okay, when I say yes, you reply me no. Alright? Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
Very good. Again, no.
Yes.
Okay, let's make it harder. Yes, yes.
No.
Yes, yes, no.
No, 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 yes.
No, yes, no, yes.
Yes, yes, no, yes, no.
Yes, no, no, yes, no.
No, yes, yes, no, yes.
A bit of a twister here. Let's change it up a bit. When I say left, you say
Right.
good. Right.
Left.
Left.
Right.
Left, left, right.
Right, right, left.
Right, left, left, right.
Left, right, right, left.
Left, 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 right. Yes.
Right, 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 left.
You're getting used to it. Some people are you getting it. One last time. Right, right, left, right. Yes, no, yes.
You're trying your best. Right.
What? Oh, he does?
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Simple game, thanks. I guess why I play this game is because these games are popularly played in theatre, and specifically there's this form of theatre called Theatre of the Oppressed, and it's being created by this practitioner called Augusto Boal. And Augusto Boal wrote a book called Books for Actors and Non-Actors, games for actors and non-actors. And he has this form of theatre called foreign theatre, which is a participatory theatre where you will see a scenario of a character who is a protagonist, who is trying to fight for his freedom or for his justice. He is facing injustice, but at every point in the play itself, he fails. Right? And because he fails, the play ends in a very bad resolution. And because it ends in a bad resolution, there's this person called the Joker who will come in and say, "Hey audience, do we want this to happen in real life?" And they're like, "No, we don't want it to happen." Good. We're going to go to the second part where the audience are now invited to come out and replace this protagonist physically on stage and show us, if you are in his shoe in this scenario right now, what would you do? So that is one of the more prominent forms of participatory theatre that is very popular around the world and in Singapore, and that's how I started doing theatre that is not straight theatre but a little bit more involved in participatory. And obviously, as I move along into our careers, and Cheryl here is also a theatre practitioner, as we move along in our career, the big question that we ask is, how else can we push the idea of participation within performance, and hence Attempts is born. Essentially, Attempts is us figuring out how else can we investigate participatory, and one of the good ways for us to push the idea of participation is to use video game design and mechanics and to explore experiences for the audience, right? So Boal uses this word to describe the audience. He no longer calls the audience people who are merely spectating. He calls them spec-actor, which is you are spectating, but at the same time you are acting, you are taking action to change the world, right? So we are particularly in love with the idea of a spectator, of spec-actor in that sense, and also being a player. So we started looking at, oh right, so how are we going to use video games to explore our work? I suppose I will go through some of my projects, our projects that we did, and hopefully that gives you an idea of what we do. The first ever project that we did started in Melbourne, where I was finishing my Masters in directing for performance, and this project is also inspired by my hatred towards escape rooms. So I hate escape rooms. The core reason why I hate escape rooms is most of the time the puzzles are very lazy. It's got nothing to do with the narrative, and it's separate, and I hate it, right? So when I started to look at this performance, I wanted to kind of revert that a little bit to its original source, which is like, games like Silent Hill, games like Resident Evil, where there's a lot of storytelling that comes with the environment. So this game is called Attempts, a performance is called Attempts, Melbourne. So it's about a play, it's inspired by this play called Attempts on Her Life. So Attempts on Her Life is a feminist play that talks about this woman called Anne in 17 different scenarios. So in each scenario, she's being described very differently. She's being described as a car, as an artist, a refugee, a terrorist. So there was different identity put on this woman called Anne. And we took the play, we got a bunch of actors, and we played games, and then we devised, and then we kind of created a reverse escape room where there is a conglomerate with a self-realizing AI happening, and the audiences have to find out what's wrong with the AI by going through this sequence of rooms with different identity of Anne. So it was a play about patriarchy, male gaze, subverting the idea of gaze. And in this room, the audiences can do three things. They can first solve a series of puzzles to unlock a journal. So they find out more about this woman called Anne. They can also walk around the space and look at the environment and see what the story is telling by the environment. So for example, if you go into a room and you see a bookshelf filled with philosophical feminist books, versus you look at the bed and then her bra is being strewn all over, dildos on the bed, a camera on the bed. So do we identify her as a poet or a sex worker? So, and the next thing you can do is to watch other people play. You can sit down and not participate, but to watch other people participate. And that was the first project that we did. Then in 2018, we brought it back in Singapore, and then we got a new group of actors, and we started to explore deeper into the idea of male gaze in Singapore. So this is when we did our first show in M1 Fringe called Thames SG. At the end, the AI kind of comes alive, and the audience is offered a choice. There is a button, if you see that, a red button offered to the audience, and you could either shut down the AI or let the AI to take over via this button. And it's interesting to see the audience's choice after being experiencing the rooms where there's a mixture of game and performance in it. This is our next project called Dating Sim Beta. Dating Sim is it's inspired by popular video games via Dating Sim. And it's interesting because I grew up with dating sims, and often not good way. Dating sims are infamously connected to hentai, and that happens because you're one man trying to date multiple women. And during this period of time, there was just a case of Monica Bay, if you are familiar with that case. And then there was a lot of discussion about, boys will be boys walking around, looking at girls, and trying to date them. So it was a way of us trying to kind of investigate how we see dating. And hence we use this idea of dating simulation to kind of look into that. So it's the gameplay is very much choose your own adventure. So audiences are given a choice of A and B, and then you help this man go and woo two women, one called Moon, one called Kaoru, and then you are offered a series A and B. It was first done at 742 via physically, if you see this. So these are two operators from this conglomerate called ARC. They are inventing this dating app that pairs you 100% to your ideal mate. But in order to get that information, they need to do a data mining from the audience. So they go through by a storytelling about this guy dating two girls. And then while that's happening, you are trying to help this guy chase two girls. There is a little side story between these two operators who are also, the guy is in love with the girl just got out of a relationship, she's not kind of ready. In the middle of the game, he kind of hits on her a little bit, and she got really frustrated by it, and then she takes over the narrative, and all of a sudden the audience now have to play the other girl, as the other girl, and then the system breaks down because of that. So I'll talk a little bit, I'll just jump straight to this, right? So after that we did another version on Zoom because of COVID. The government, very good, the government, they give us a lot of money and say, hey, you're self-employed, right? Please take this money to make performances. So wanting to take advantage of that, we decided to make an online version, and we decided to do it on Zoom. As you can see, this is our team. And coincidentally, this actor, Jit, he was in Singapore, but after that he was based in Switzerland. And because he's based in Switzerland, and now the game is in Zoom, on Zoom, he could participate and perform in it as well. And rather than to use cards, so in real life, the audience raise their cards to choose A, and then do nothing for B. In Zoom, they can do polling. So we have a polling that pops out every 10 seconds. Choose A, choose B, choose A, choose B. And that's how they interacted with the game. Then came, M1 Fridge, but there was a bicentennial. Yes, we love bicentennial because we celebrate Sir Stamford Raffles during bicentennial. I'm joking, we're not. We wanted to look at our indigenous identity within Singapore, and I think that was really important for us to see history beyond Sir Stamford Raffles. So we decided to make this game as part of a Fringe Festival. It's called A Tiny Country. A Tiny Country is also inspired by this time a card game or a drawing game called A Quiet Year. If you have played Quiet Year, this is a game where you have a piece of paper and everybody comes in, they contribute by drawing on a map. And as they draw on a map, they kind of discover the history of this place. So the narrative of the game is you are a tribe and you have a warring tribe that is against you. Sounds familiar now, right? There is a ceasefire of 1 year. And in this ceasefire, you have to rebuild your community. And so what we did was we took that game and then we started to ask the question of how would history affect how we perceive ourselves. So the story now has become about this Fares over here, who his grandfather, and fictional grandfather, owns the like a historical building in Arab Street, and he's retracing his own heritage roots and understanding why it's not being accepted. As he's doing that, the audience are playing 4 tribes, and in the 4 tribes, they reimagine how history is before an incoming invasion, aka colonization. So they collectively tell this story as they draw on the map. So there are 4 tribes, the guardians, the protectors, the artists, the artist. Nobody wants to be the artist.
Ironically, everybody was the artist.
Yeah, ironically, everybody was the artist. And then they kind of stood around the table, and then they create totems, and then they draw around the map, and then we collectively tell a story. And then the next project. You want to talk about next project?
So this is a COVID project because everything, like Jedediah say, we all go to different ways to figure out how to still make art during COVID. So during COVID, there was this festival that was created by a group of young theatre makers in Singapore. So we all banded together and decided we want to make a festival online, and the platform was Telegram. So this festival occurred solely on Telegram itself, and it was called Strike Festival. Then Attempts collaborated with another collective called Space Bar, and we did this show called Hey I Move. So basically, Hey I Move is very targeted towards my generation, which is our generation, which is, I will not say what year, but if you know Blogspot, that's your generation. So what happens is that you get an email, and then this person says, hi, we're going to delete Blogspot already, this is your last time to see it, so go do it before it disappears. And you discover the life of this girl through her different platforms. So you move from her Blogspot to her Tumblr to her WordPress, and they are all she's very excited. And they are all password locked. So you have to read her post to discover what the password is. From her Blogspot, they will bring you to her Tumblr. On her Tumblr, you will read through her post, you find what's the password to her WordPress, and then finally you land at a video talking about how she went through her life with technology. Yeah, basically, this is it.
Yeah. So to quote Russell about non-negotiables, one of the few non-negotiables for us when we were first starting was we wanted to have a lot of live action. When I say live action, means physically they need to be doing something, audiences need to be doing something, and that was really important for us. But COVID also forced us to reinvestigate that as a non-negotiable, and we started to Our show seems to have a little bit of technology in it, but it's all very lo-fi. That means it's actually physically someone trying to mimic a high tech thing, but none of it is high tech, right? So even all these are very lo-fi ways to resolve the storytelling. Until this one. So we then finally collaborated as part of Center 42's initiative. We worked with the Doodle People team, and they created a video game for us. They created a video game which we incorporated performances into it. So this game is called Window. Window is a game about social isolation. You are back in the office after COVID, and your co-worker has not been seen for the last 3 weeks. Her girlfriend puts a post-it on her computer telling that she misses her and to call her if you can. And then you are curious where this person goes, so you go to her computer and you find out that her password is being put on a post-it, and it's I don't have that time. Put on a post-it and then you could log into her computer. So this is a game that you log into a computer and you kind of travel through into her minds about her perception of herself, her self-esteem, about her depression, about her isolation. So you go into two kind of worlds. One is a actual computer, and the other world is a kind of like a fantastic mythical world where you play mini games. So that was our second last project. So we play mini games. So what if this game, for example, there's a car going up a slope. In order for you to complete the game, you have to smash a space bar. So you push the car up the slope, and then you seem like you will fail, but you will fly back again, and then you have to keep doing that. And then there's another mini game where you go into a forest, you're navigating in the forest, and then a lot of wolves come to attack you, and then you use the axe to chop all the wolves down. And then only to realize that the wolves are all trying to say happy birthday to you. Why you never pick up my text? Please come and join us in this party. And then, so it's kind of weird mini games.
This is a one-on-one, so we have a one to a one audience member experiencing that.
Yes, so the players download the game and play it in their own home as per COVID. To simulate that, on the other end, we have a control center where five actors will talk to 5 audiences every night. So every night we have 2 rounds, so there's 10 performances to 10 spectators in every night. This is our only recent project, and we did it under Esplanade, and they have a brewery and incubation project. Incubation project meaning that we have low stakes, we don't have to do a showing to public, we are given a bunch of money, and we don't have to worry about ticket sales, and we can do whatever we want, and we took advantage of that. We can do whatever we want, so that was the thing that really resonated with us. Let me just show you a video of what happened. So sorry, this because the show is in Mandarin, because it's Hawaii, right? Very Chinese. So it's a political play. So it's a political participatory performance. Thank you. You could turn off.
我们在排这个戏的时候，一直在想，观众也会不会觉得害怕，也会不会感觉到一丝的。
So I'm sitting at the side of the stage, and then it's almost a lecture performance style that I was engaging the audience.
报上每一个人的 actors headshot 都美美的，像 program booklet 一样啊，登在报纸里。
And then we'll see a bunch of actors rehearsing for the play.
那是观众的工作。
哎，好好，我们今天就到这里啊。
And then we have parts where audiences will have a direct discussion with us, talking about the themes of the play.
一个界限，而且永远不变。所以可能它的那个 boundary 是 ever shifting 的。然后，另外一个我觉得比较重要的问题是，那个界限是谁画的？
我是觉得是有权利的是来规定。
That is Jedi talking in Mandarin.
的机构来给定这个
Whoever's greatest in power in that context.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, then after this, right, they watch already. They have a second part where they will go to individual rooms where they will play mini games as well. that invokes the emotions of the themes, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. So thank you very much. Fun fact, are you all familiar with censorship in Singapore? Do you know that last time censorship, that means when plays and films are being written, they have to submit to police station. And then the police constable will read the play and approve the play. You know? Yeah. Interesting fact, huh? That means the police is the one that tells you whether your play is approved or not. Basically, this play was about that. So we took this play called X by Tan Hao. Tan Hao is a famous Singaporean play, and he wrote this play that talks about there was a time where theatre artists were being apprehended and by the police for Marxist conspiracy, and this bunch of people were rehearsing a play. In the play itself, they are rehearsing a play, and they were talking about they're being afraid that the police officers are following them around. There's this thing called Internal Security Department, and they are following them around. They were kind of afraid that they're going to be apprehended. So the whole play talks about this bunch of young people trying to make a play criticizing the government, and they were afraid of getting caught. And in our version was a play about us talking about this play, rehearsing this play, and being afraid of Esplanade not giving us the money, that people will lodge complaint, and then we wanted to transfer this fear to the audience. So we make the audience become our co-conspirator. What happened was that we say this is a work in progress and we don't know what the play is going to be, but we're going to do research with you. We want to collate all your emotions. And then after, when we collate all your responses already, right, we are going to publish this as part of our program book. So when we will say you are part of this performance, so if the police come and look for us, they have to come and look for you also, because you are involved in it. And the audience will given a choice at the end whether they agree to put their names in the program book or not. So that's essentially the game. A lot of our games that we do is inspired about plays, because we are, at the end of the day, still theatre makers, and we like to bring on very good, very heavy plays and then look at how else we can participate. So sometimes we ask these questions when we pick a play. And in this case, the center was a lot about young people creating artwork and having a fear of creating this work. And then, yeah, we gotta skip this. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe when we have time, we can talk about it. And for us, having this incubation was also a big experiment of us of using game design in theatre. And as we slowly do more game design in theatre, we also realized that we can also look at experience design as well. So we start to interchange the word game design, not the word game design, or we start to interchange the two methods of game design and experience design when we were doing the performance. So a very good example is one of the rooms is a card game where the audience of 5 people will pick up 5 different portfolios of plays that fictional people have wrote, and then you will see the portfolio of who these people is. Right? Say for example, this guy, he is a political playwright and he's been banned 2 times, but he's writing a children's play about race. Then the audience of 5, we play censors. Then we ask, do we want to approve this play or not? We ask the question, are we approving the play or are we approving the person who writes the play? So the card game was what pushes that ideology. But then there is another kind, which is experience. So for example, an experience is there is a camera in front of you, and then this guy plays the director and say, hey, come. Okay, so you're going to just read this play, then you 2% read the play, and I record you. Then after I record you, I say, okay, can you sign this thing? So it's just merely an experience of reading something that is very subversive, controversial, and then feel what it's like when you are to commit to this kind of artwork. So that was the 2 things that we were experiencing. So game design and experience design in theatre. We wanted also to adapt existing pieces. We also kind of developed our own way of devising games with actors. So actors they like to have say in everything. So in order to make them feel empowered, right, we have to devise games with them. And most of the time, which makes the job easier for me because most of the time I let them go and design the games and I critique. This game turned out. No, I'm joking. So we have a way to devise games. We also look at game dramaturgy, which I don't know if this is something which I love to have a chat with everybody on the ground on what game dramaturgy means to you. And there's this guy, I can't remember his name. I will find those details out. Dramaturgy basically it's the art of meaning making. So when you see a story, right, how does the structure make meaning? How does a symbol in the play make meaning? So same thing with games, right? How does game create meaning? So that's what I'm interested in when I'm talking about game dramaturgy. And we can talk more about this. I think that will be another lecture, if any. Okay, I'm gonna run. I have various game mechanics and blah blah blah. So we started to explore more than just video games. We look at card games and board games as well. Okay. Okay, that's it. I don't want to talk about this anymore. You don't have time already. Okay, so ultimately we wanted the audience to feel the fear of participation and doing the idea of doing a political play. So I'll edit over here. Thank you so much. Sorry for overrunning. Questions?
Yeah, okay. So firstly, we only have time for one question. But
Yes.
for the rest of you, if you also have a question, can I encourage you to write it on a post-it and then pass it to their group directly so that maybe we can share back or address it later on. So don't waste the question. Okay? Alright, so one question from anyone.
Okay, then I ask.
Hey, Dad. Thank you.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is the works that you produce, right? It's expressive and there's motives behind. But do you think about the audience and what you want to deliver to them in this creative process, or are you just expressing what you want to create?
Definitely. I think at the end of the day, it's all about what the message is and how they can interact with this message, right? So if you think of a conventional play, it's very much of me telling you what to think. But like Boal's idea of theatre is, I don't want to decide for you what it is, but I want you to think about your relationship with this theme and topic. So it's oftentimes we are provoking you to have a certain experience or to provoke you to reflect on a certain idea. So games are really designed towards that. Either to give you an experience or really to put you in a dilemma, force you to make a choice.
I think I can add that like one of the non-negotiables that we have for attempts is that I wish that everybody who comes to our show goes out with a different kind of experience of their own. Our audience shouldn't have 100% go like, oh, we went to this show, we all think this way. So for attempts, mostly all of our things, people kind of leave with different things of what they want to think about, and they are all like valid. And that's kind of the fun thing as a theatre maker, then you watch them experience it, yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
I think you can ask Jedediah whether he was scared during the center.
They randomly put me on the spot, like first one to ask, Jedediah, do you have an opinion in front of everybody? I was just like, what?
If you want me to post it, let me know.